Why are you surrendering? Okay, because even if we plough through Hungary, it's Teutonic Order that need to be taken out of this war. And frankly, it works in our favour to trim down the Ottomans just a wee bit. Because at some point they will turn on us, and at that point, I know I like an inflated end boss, but they are growing in all directions in scary ways. So there we go. I believe the proven crosser would be for Buda. Pest is on the east bank. Well, thank you, hindsight. Okay, fortunately my all-important core here is fine. I mean, this is just fat that others can chew on. The 10 trust you lost to the Ottomans won't help them. Oh, really? Yeah, probably not, but still. I feel like I could give up a little less than this. I mean, we're giving up too much here. Maybe I could give them up, like, Goldingen and... oh no, I really want that province. Because I'm probably going to want to start integrating Livonia soon. And again, that core, you know. Yeah, what the hey, that'll do. A beautiful victory if ever there was. And they bled a lot harder than we did. Jeez, that amount of bleeding is scary. I'll take it though. Now I got my reconquest on Hungary. That was quite a nice little benefit to get a core there. And the Ottomans are at 80 trust. Funny that, isn't it? I had some suspicions earlier on about that one. Okay, guys, we are burned out here. Our nation needs to go and get some R and R. Neva's still coring. War exhaustion can die down a bit. And it seems we're getting some enemies now. Sweden and Teutonic Order both hate our guts. I'm going to tell Sweden I feel much the same, unless there's a good reason not to. I don't think there is. I hate you too, my friend. Jake, time to use the revanchism. Yeah, we have quite a bit of revanchism. Nice to see that unrest down. Tax is hugely up. Manpower recovery will help. But it's that interest per annum that would really, really help with all these loans that I'm never going to take in my life. Sometimes I wish I didn't big up that rule so much. You can do so much with loans. Probably one of the worst things is the people that I've turned against using loans. But fit Kinemindi, as we say. Alright, the Ottomans still really like us. Long may that continue to be the case. Giving up rivals. Let's just hope they don't rival us, because that would be terrifying. But thankfully, with 80 trust, that doesn't happen. I believe I have a truce with everybody that I could conceivably fight without using best CB. Yeah, even the Great Horde. And Lithuania. And Hungary. Teutonic Order. Riga. Livonian Order. Sweden. Muscovy. Muscovy's little pets. Yep. Okay, there is Karakayunlu, and I have been threatened to conquer Ganja for a long time, but I'm telling you now that's not going to happen. No, our country is going to chill a cycle. That'll have disassembled the coalition against me, even if temporarily. And that should also buy me enough time to get rid of any undue aggressive expansion. We're not doing that. I really do want some institutional spread though. Let's get that going. How are we doing for institutions as it is though? We want that printing press. If Lithuania gets it, we can have it grow here. But it seems the main place we're getting it from is out of Kasimov and Murom. And Rostov is getting it itself. So how's that looking? Okay, Vladimir is rather promising. To the point where it's tempting to develop it a few times. So what's it at? It's at 86. I could certainly develop you a few times and get that in. From there it would spread. It would spread a lot faster than other ways. If I get to Yuriev, I just want it to Moskva and Rostov nice and quickly. And again, Yuriev is pretty slow at that kind of thing. I mean, each year it'll get 4. It doesn't strike me as worth the cost at the moment. Jake, any particular reason or story for the no loans house rule? Okay, so in Europa Universalis 3, I've told this story multiple times, but it doesn't hurt to say it again, right? In Europa Universalis 3, you could take only 5 loans, and if you still needed money from the bank after that, the game just went, oh, you messed up, you bankrupt now. And I kind of like that. In Europa Universalis 4, however, you can take loans for so much money, such an unbelievable amount of money. Multiple dozens of times your own GDP. And that just doesn't sit right with me. I like to think that I can win with fiscal responsibility. Win being whatever the goals I set out for myself are. Oh right, these guys aren't going anywhere anytime soon. I mean, they can just hang out. I'll be able to get them back some way, somehow, eventually. Might actually be worth my while to make myself a couple of flutes so that I can ship people back. The attrition along the way would be atrocious, though, so maybe not. Yeah, this lack of... Alright, so Muscovy, that... What was he? Administrator kind of guy. He's gunning down poor little Kazan. We are not allied to them these days, but Uzbek certainly is. Then there's the Great Horde, still guaranteed by Muscovy, so we can still use that as our way to punch Muscovy in their soft underbelly. Again, Lithuania is somebody that needs to be removed from the map. However, I have a lot of ruffled feathers amongst the Christians, so it might just be worth my time calling canny on that. Jake, how important is it that it's historically accurate? That what is historically accurate? I'm a little lost on what you mean there. You mean the loaning situation? I mean, England took out loads of okay. Oh, jeez, did you really have to do that? Send them golden soldiers. That's some liquidation they're doing there. Forget it, you're not worth 100 ducats to me. Okay, I mean, I will absolutely help you out in your wars. I mean, what kind of ally would I be if I didn't? However, this is troubling, because these guys are going to die, probably get wiped. At least them getting wiped gives me some manpower back to feed into the other units. I'll take you guys on soon enough. Okay, I don't think I have any immediate concerns in this war. Other than, you know, Karakianlu eating up my Georgian lands. It's a reasonable opening for me to help out in this war. You know, get a bit of favour generated. Now what I'm trying to see is where I need my forts active right now. And it's certainly not up here. And it certainly is around here where devastation is rife. Although Polotsk maybe not so much. Even so, we're doing okay. What about the chav monetary policy if it's all just fucking numbers, mate? Don't you believe in that anymore? Well, you see, a loan is only a loan if you ever pay it back. So, it's alright if you have to go bankrupt. Of course, back then we didn't have the bankruptcy button either. Gotta work with what you got. I really don't want to send what few units I have to fighting you. But I certainly don't want Livonia having a foreign individual on the throne. So we'll get you guys over there. We will, of course, help our allies in this time of need. I'm also going to scrunch my units together and, with a heavy heart, waste even more of my men fighting. Preferably when they have full morale. Just a thought. Still though, my diplomat is free. I'm wondering what I could do. I could get some claims on that Great Horde land that does have to become mine eventually. But when I fight you, I will certainly be fighting Muscovy at the same time. All the more reason that I need it there. I'm fairly boxed in. I would really love to get myself a port here and then start gobbling up this land. Which makes me ask myself, do I really still need Livonia as a subject here? Yes, these lands would be nice to get, well, this one province would be nice to get on a reconquest. But they are allied with the Teutonic Order. I could take on some Teutonic Orders. Well, nothing's happening whilst we're at war anyway, but it's something to keep in mind. Something else to keep in mind is that these things are not going to be so useful for me anymore. Still kind of tempted just to expedite the process here a wee bit. I just don't want to develop Vladimir. It's all forestry and nonsense like that. What I'm saying is it's no cheap. But I mean, I do have that mill that would only be sunk into bringing me closer to 5% discipline and some trade efficiency. Well, I've been won over. Those boats of mine need to get better. And I would love to get some extra prestige as well. Again, that dip isn't helping me out. Alright, you maggots seem ready enough for battle. Give you one more month and then away we go. I hope those Ottomans actually do go and fight, because I don't want to lose my land for this. We need a nice League War to break the peace. You got that right. I've been hoping the League War would be going for it. And since it's Austria and Bohemia are the leaders here, why in the world am I going for that? Austria and Bohemia are still the leaders here. Yeah, well, honestly, I can totally see why Austria isn't pulling that trigger. Having to fight Ottomans, Muscovy, and France. Sweden's no softy either. Well, I'll go and do my part. Alright guys, go and do what you do best. Depletion of the European beaver is good news for me. It's not like I control much of the fur trade, but where I do, it's just become worth that bit more. Ah, goodbye manpower. Never even knew you. Unfortunately they get their tick of morale and all that back as well. But we're good at wiping, so it's okay. Hopefully this gets rid of my mission to conquer Ganja. Excellent. Or at the very least not bad. Look, I'm helping. Oh, I might eventually be helping. Right, Neva's ours as well. Is your Georgian land still full of devastation? Not full of devastation, it goes away by about 1% per year. And this is a long game. Oh, I think that said I had access through Genoa all this time, which was costing me very vital dip. Boyars get influence, but it doesn't seem to be causing any strife. And I'm getting just that little bit of contribution in this war. As expected, you know. I really helped my buddy out. It's a real scratch my back, scratch your back affair here. And with that devastation just tumbling away, there's no real need to keep these forts active anymore. These lands over here sorely wishing they had such luxury, but nope. Whilst my other lands are somehow trying to become prosperous. It'll take a while, but they're trying their best. Did Hungary pick a league side? I don't know, your eyes are better than mine. There they are, they're on the Catholic side. Hungary's quite the beast, I must say. Okay, now that piece wasn't particularly huge, so my truces are equally not particularly huge. Damn right you owe me some favors, Ottomans. Bending over backwards for your every demand. Surprised myself with this. I'd love to get those levies, but they wouldn't like me for it one bit. Sadly, their advancement kind of clogs the works for getting myself a new general. But that's just how it is. Is one of your goals Baltic domination or just surviving until 1821? I want to make a perfect Hansa, as defined in Patrician 4, which I later defined in another episode, and somebody in the YouTube comments went, "Thanks for finally defining what it is, because I didn't know what you meant by a perfect Hansa, and I was frankly too scared to ask at this point." And now I've already forgotten what I said, but all of the cities in Patrician 4, we're going to take those, and we'll probably take all the areas that they're part of anyway, just to make the borders smooth. And additionally, it would make a lot of sense if I just unite the culture group as well. Except for these fake Ruthenians, because they're not real. How can Ruthenians be real when Hungarian aggressive expansion isn't real? Not to mention Teutonic aggressive expansion, man. They chomped the Lithuanians. And nobody was crying for them. Okay, I'd really love to carve up what's left of Lithuania, and I have little reason not to. I have one particularly sizable reason, and that is the aggressive expansion that I have quite a lot of. I mean, Muscovy will probably really want to coalition me later on, if not already. I'm sure they want to. So what are we looking? We're looking at a fair few years of just getting my horrifically depleted manpower back to something that... I want Kasimov as it happens. Fortunately for me, Muscovy is not without their own problems. Because they can't form Russia, they can't go colonizing, and their targets are pretty tricky to go for. If they fight Nagai, I mean, sure, Muscovy would win. That's not without its risks of getting bogged down, though, and trust me, if they did that, I would be gut-punching them with or without the Ottomans by my side. He says, with confidence, hoping nobody will call that bluff. Oh well, we can just carry on. Still on the fence about integrating good old Livonia. Would take a long... well, it wouldn't take a long time, but it would be some nice extra land for me. Honestly, they're just causing me a bunch of troubles right now, and it's opportunity to start expanding into Denmark, who, whilst they do have Brandenburg under personal union, would probably struggle to come at me. Except for navally, where they of course have a better navy than me, so maybe I should think that one through a little better. Nonetheless, I'm finding it hard to really take Livonia seriously right now. Also, Teutonic Order are involved in this whole lark, and they are on the Catholic side. I really want that war to break out, but it would be something like Bohemia attacking, and Bohemus Snake, in the wrong direction at least, isn't looking too hot for launching his own giant wars. Okay, this institution spread going extremely slowly is going to really start working against me soon. I could develop Rostov even further into the moon. But actually thinking about it, Rostov will have it very soon. And then it will spread... mostly I need it over in Moskva. If it's in Rostov and Moskva, then we're pretty golden. Still though, when it comes to Litauen, I have a couple of claims at least. Nobody's going to blink at me taking Molly. And I need these provinces as well. Basically, I just need him. I just want his land. Nobody would fight me over it. Show us the world, Jake. Well, you want to know about my stand, Zawardo. Looks like nothing's really changed over here. It's odd to see Mongolia still kicking around here. Despite having support, they stay a vassal under the Oirat. I think I used to call these guys the Oirats. I've been swung around to the proper way of saying it though. It's been known to happen. Still takes 5 years for a favour with the Ottomans. Funny that. Alright, I am running out of reasons why Oka is not a full core of mine. Okay, it being incredibly expensive is probably part of it, but there we go. No real autonomy, and it brings in the bacon. Really, look at that manpower. You do have buildings, right? A workshop, a reg camp, a barracks. Okay, they instituted the barracks defense. How long until a Hungary auto-war over Wallachia? Wallachia has done well here, but they've chosen the Hungarian side. Did I not best CB Wallachia earlier on in the game? Okay, this institute is available to me, but I should wait for it to spread to Moscow. I have plenty of things to spend my my everything on right now. Diplopower just not coming in at the speed that I want it. I want that aggressive expansion reduction pretty badly. Because heavens knows Rostov's been a bad boy and all of Europe is getting in line to give them what's for. Also, I would really need this before I start thinking about integrating subjects of mine. Funny the way that works. Why is it so cheap? Ah yes, I have idea cost reduction. It's only natural. Alright, well, numbers are at least getting to something that can be counted as reasonable. And this aggressive expansion, though. We'll be able to keep Teutonic Order out of my hair for at least a while. Sweden rivaled me, so bang goes that. Muscovy are... yeah, they're also on board for that. Funnily enough, Lithuania is probably going to want to rival me anyway, so I should probably declare war regardless as soon as this is all up. Otherwise they might join the coalition, making future wars with them that bit harder. But this will still generate aggressive expansion with people, which isn't good. For me, that is. They actually managed to convert this province. Which means they'll probably do Yelits soon enough. We'll get our claims down, but I don't need further claims on you. I'm probably going to... I mean, keeping you as a wild card is probably the cleverer thing to do, rather than building up a fairly meaningless spy network. Alternatively, I find somebody that has a possibility of getting out of this coalition, and jumping on that. Riga, you know I've always been your friend. Can Lithuania even rival you? There's barely any Litauen left. Did I say rival? Because I sure as hell meant coalition. Hello, Hungary. I guess you and Teutonic Order are best buddies thanks to this whole... Sorry, I was distracted by the idea of sending Belo-Ozero troops into the fires to die. That sounds great to me. That really fast-tracked our manpower. And that's almost exactly the amount of manpower we needed. Excellent. I've been extremely light on the mercs this playthrough, as you've no doubt noticed. Maybe I should start thinking about how to make the most money I can. Like getting that Muscovite iron making me money, or that Rostovian massive amounts of grain. When it comes to taxation, though, Smolensk would do me good there. But there's also the barracks defense. Apparently Talifs would be useful for that. At least the most useful. Splash in the ocean, really. I'd rather hoard that money so I can roll around in it. It's another thing people bring up. It's like, Jake, whenever you play these campaigns, you hoard all this money that you could use to just spend and win battles. It's all about playing the game you want to play, and for me that's rolling around in piles and piles of money. I'm sure that's nothing unusual for you. Now, it might be odd that Livonian Order's desire for independence is going down, but I enforced religion on them 25 years ago, and that's been slowly ticking down ever since, which is rather nice. The Ottomans are gunning down Timmy, For some reason they're not calling me in, despite me being hostile towards them. I guess he thinks I just don't need to, or something like that. I'm a bit confused as to why he doesn't call me in. Would the perfect Hanzo waste a lot of units, waste a lot of money with mercs, Jakes? Well, ours didn't. For better and or for worse, I'm not going to be a great power anymore because Savoy has beaten the odds and not faced the wrath of that coalition. I really thought they would have. I thought they'd be getting slapped 6 ways from Sunday right now. It's still a beefy coalition and it's not fired on them. I should be probably quite jealous. Vladimir's got it, so it's going to spread around here and all will be fine. But I'm not spending on all of that, though. Not when I have an incredibly good navy to have. I should have taken my construction cost reduction before building all those things, but it's not the way we think around here. 15 prestige and a half price, 3 skill philosopher. That's pretty good. But I really, really like money. I mean, I really like money. I'll take that. I mean, he still costs quite a lot every month. But we also have this guy, inflation reduction. And I do have inflation. And I certainly have the money to burn on a particularly good... Oh, I certainly should have taken you for the wars ahead. Granted, I need that manpower. Okay, losing my train of thought here. I love prestige, so I'm taking the prestige guy. Thank you, please. You might wonder why. Well, prestige just gives so many bonuses. I've seen people think that prestige bonuses are weak. I don't know what you're on. It's amazing. It's morale. It's cheaper mercs. It's lower aggressive expansion. It's Livonia insulting me because they are a buffoon. Actually, he's really bad. I bet he really doesn't like me having forced Reykjavik on his throne. Well, too bad for him. I guess the Ottomans are just gunning down Timmies with little care for me. And that's fine, I suppose. But I need to start thinking about Litauen, because they've got to go. He can't get around. I would just murder him here. I could leave a couple of units to just tag Villainous and Mogilev. For what it's worth, I'm planning on going to Villainous if I can later on this year. If you are Villainous, then let me know what's worth doing there. Let's just go and stare him dead in the eyes. And soon he'll be dead. Of course, the question of what I can take in that war is a separate one, but... maybe I can just wait out the war until I have enough Diplo power. It would only take a few years. It's not like we have that much autonomy across the board. And I've not been using my happy Russian man to reduce it even further. There we go. Liking that force limit. Can't wait until I have 2 stacks of units. As I've always said, as soon as I have 2 stacks of units to play with, I become unstoppable. Where did Tver and the other one go? I think they became Muscovite. Which is actually good. It severely lowers Muscovy's power. That 4-6 general severely increases his power. Still though, are you still friendly with your friends the Ottomans? Yeah, I cannot allow you two to ally. Thankfully, Ottomans have plenty of friends and it looks like they're going to keep it that way. On very hard, the AI AE gain is so small. Savoy did a lot to gain that much HR. You're conquering Italy. Well, medieval Italy. In the HRE. Definitely going to cheese off a lot of people. What I don't get is why nobody's pulled the trigger on him. Oh, he's also got a personal union over Brabant. Very interesting. Alright, truce is up with Lithuania. I'm struggling to think of a reason not to just gun them down here and now. I have claim on lands that rightfully belong to me. Sadly though, he's done some converting. I mean, I can leave Mansour for later. The others are disgustingly Christian for a long time. Not Bakhmut. Isn't that a Final Fantasy Aeon or something? Oh, of course, Aragon, Defender of the Faith, he will come to save them. Also, the Ottomans are hugely in debt. If I get declared upon, they might think of that against reasons to fight for me. So when these truces are up and I become vulnerable